I want to share with you perhaps one of the most shocking things that ever happened to me in my decade of recruiting. If you don't follow me, my name's Joel Algie. I've been in the recruitment space for coming up to a decade. You can go to LinkedIn and verify me. I've got 200,000 followers over there. This story happened to me about 6 months into my recruitment career. We were working with a long-term client. They needed a salesperson, outside sales, within the exhibit and trade show space. I was new in recruiting, so I really didn't know what to really expect. And this was one of my first sales roles, so I was pretty excited. So after the first 3 days, I'd had a number of great conversations, and one conversation in particular really stuck out in my mind. The candidate had the exact experience we were looking for. They were award-winning, they had hit the President's Club. They really knew the clients that my client was looking to work with. And everything from the resume to the portfolio, everything lined up, everything looked great. I couldn't have been more excited. You find a great candidate like that within the first 3 days, you know it's going to be a good search. So I put together a nice write-up based on our conversation. I sent over the resume, and I sent it in a really nice email to the hiring manager we were working with, who happened to be one of the vice presidents at this company. Now, in between this, I actually went to one of my friends' funerals. So I was kind of in a difficult headspace at the time, really should have taken some time off. But that did not help with the response that I got from this vice president. So this is a leader at the company. Instead of giving me any feedback on the resume and any of the information I sent through, he sent me a link to a UCare page. And then underneath the link for the UCare page was a definition for a type of cancer, which included everything like life expectancy. So yeah, I hadn't been in recruiting for that long, but I knew that this was getting really weird. So I decided to click on the link, and what do I find? I find a picture of the candidate that I just submitted. So basically, the VP is telling me that they don't want to move forward with this candidate because they found their UCare page and they have cancer, they had cancer, and they had actually underlined the life expectancy piece. And I think at that moment, I just realized that, there are people out there in leadership roles. I mean, this was a vice president. They're just people who are completely heartless and people that really don't care about anything other than money or growing the business or whatever it is. It was just a massive wake-up call. I mean, even though this was a client, somebody who has 20 years of experience, they were just acting really inappropriate and really, really immature. So obviously at this point, I got a hold of my manager at the time and just said, look, I don't want to work with this guy. I explained the situation, explained what I was going through, and she was actually a cancer survivor herself. So she completely understood what I was saying and actually went to our CEO and basically said, hey, we don't want to work with this guy. If this is what this person is like they're going to share a UCare page and then underline the life expectancy of a candidate, this isn't somebody we even want to hire somebody for. We're not going to be happy when we place somebody working with this guy. Now, since then, I have run into all sorts of things. I've run into people who are just racist, people who are really small-minded, people who are just super judgmental, and sometimes people who are just really mean and unaccepting of other people. And I get it. Everybody has their own beliefs. Everybody has their own way of thinking. But when we're talking about jobs and work, you have to look past your personal preferences. So the reason I share this story is I know some of you are having a really tough job search, but I promise you, you don't want to work at every place. So when you get rejected, when somebody says, hey, this isn't a right fit for you, you need to look at that as a sign it's not actually a right fit for you. Because there are companies out there with terrible people running them, terrible people in leadership, and you don't want to work with someone like that. I haven't had that many worse situations than that one, and honestly, it makes me feel sick thinking about it, and I don't think I will ever forget when I got that email, considering everything that I was going through personally at the time as well.